Hello everyone, I'm finding myself trying to work out if there'd be any more people out here right now if this was a normal game with a normal crowd compared to right now. Don't know, I am outside Carrow Road, in case you were wondering. Saturday afternoon, some teams are probably only coming up to half time, or at half time in fact. Norwich are done and dusted in every which way. They've lost here 4-0 at home to West Ham. Michail Antonio got all 4 goals, and that of course relegates Norwich City back to the Championship from the Premier League. It's their 5th relegation from the competition since 1992, which is a record. No one else has been relegated more. For context, Norwich are also joint record holders for how many times they've been promoted to the Premier League, which of course, for those of you who want to look ahead, will be the goal for next season in the Championship, of course. Don't think I'm going to leave this as too long a one, but suffice to say, Norwich were pretty awful for the entirety of the game. From the moment they went behind, which was, I'm not even sure what minute it was to be honest, but it was relatively early, from a corner. It wasn't even the corner that they conceded the goal from. There was a corner just before that where the ball got put in really well. No West Ham player challenged for it yet. It came off 3 Norwich players' heads, I think, before it went out for another corner. Just a complete disarray Norwich have at the moment, and just completely shot in terms of dealing with set pieces. I think we've all seen that, and it's one of the big challenges for Daniel Farke next season, because their defending and set piece defending has at times left a fair amount to be desired, and a lot of today would have left a few people probably questioning their desire and what that means. Not so much Daniel Farke. I pointed out that in the first half drinks break, Daniel Farke sort of didn't really, he stood with his players but didn't say anything, and none of them said anything to each other, and some people sort of took that as a fact he couldn't be bothered or didn't care, whereas I took it as a fact of, you've been rubbish, I'm not going to say anything to you, because what do you want me to say? You've got the second half of the first half, the second quarter, to show me something a bit more. So but there is an appetite, and I've kind of touched on this before, I suppose. There is an appetite outside of the stadium, which of course isn't including any fans either at the moment, that is really unhappy with what Daniel Farke has done. And by no means am I saying he's immune from criticism, because there have been a lot of elements to this season that have been painful, and I don't think have been handled particularly well. I don't like the fact that the best answer to why Norwich have been so poor defending set pieces is because they've conceded the set pieces in the first place. That is one element, but you have to then defend them as well. And quite clearly, like anyone at this football club right now, next season will be about showing a progression and learning from where they are now. So that's their challenge. That's what it's all about. It doesn't strike me as a reason to completely scrub off Daniel Farke as Norwich City manager, and I can appreciate why people are really angry at the moment, given that was a pretty horrendous 90 minutes, and it's not been a great few weeks, and the season hasn't been great since September either. And I think everyone can appreciate that is a debrief to stomach and work out where Norwich progress from here. I do believe that Andre Duda will probably go back to Hertha Berlin after this now. Now relegation is sorted, it's confirmed. The results elsewhere, especially West Ham winning, but also Watford beating Newcastle at home, I think it was today, doesn't half put Aston Villa and Bournemouth in tight spots. So it'd be interesting how long we even have this who's going down discussion to have. We've only got 3 games of the season left as well, of course, because Norwich head to Chelsea in midweek, and then Burnley are here on the Saturday before Norwich head to Manchester City on the final weekend of the season. I have to say, the prospect of the last 2 away games being at Chelsea and Manchester City is not a particularly enjoyable thought, and in these COVID-19 times I have no idea if I'll be at either game. I've done pretty well to get into both away games so far, so we'll see how it all pans out, but I don't think there's much more to say really. Mario Vrancic and Marco Stiepermann, I liked seeing them in the team at Watford. They were given another go today. There wasn't much there, and if they're in a position where they're trying to prove they want to hang around, I don't know what really, if much came out of that. Max Aarons and and Alex Tettey were both in tears at the final whistle. Probably symptomatic of what that has been today. And also, you know, I don't know if there are many people who don't care about something but cry. So yeah, just a pretty distraught, disastrous afternoon. Norwich is defending all over the place and not failing to score, although I did personally feel that we saw a bit more of the drive from Timo Pukki that's been missing at times. I quite liked his performance today, but in terms of how proactive he was, probably. But I saw what Alan Shearer said in midweek about him coming for the ball rather than going in behind. I mean, I also think teams are defending the space in behind, which is making it harder for him too. But these are all things Norwich are going to have to rediscover against worse opponents in the Championship, but also ones who are going to be highly motivated. And you know what it's like if you're not up for it in the Championship, you just get rolled over. And they are all the challenges. But yeah, it's done. Norwich are relegated. We know it will be Championship football next season, probably from at some point in September, hopefully. And I suspect over the coming weeks, well, I suspect we will hear from Stuart Webber this week. That would be one of my expectations. One of my other expectations would be that we start hearing much more about how things look heading into next season. Because I think there'll be an appetite to learn from what this has been, but by the same token, shake it off as quickly as possible, because next year will be brutal as well. You just want it to be Norwich City dishing out the beatings. Plenty of stuff on The Athletic. Make sure you keep an eye on the Norwich feed. If you haven't subscribed, try theathletic.com/Norwich pod. I think there's a free trial there, so make sure you log in, and you might even get a cheap subscription if you look out for that. So keep track of that, and look after yourselves. Enjoy your weekend, make the most of it, and place any comments and questions you want, whether you're watching on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, wherever, and I'll give them a read at some point. Take care of yourselves. All the best.